So I was surprised there were 92 GOAT votes, it looks like. Brady got 85, Mahomes got 7. And I understand that's not a big number, but the fact that it's not 0 is noteworthy. And so it was surprising to me because right now, I believe both of these things wholeheartedly, and I don't think they're in conflict. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback ever, and Tom Brady is the GOAT. I think Patrick Mahomes plays the position at the highest level anyone's ever played it. I don't think there is a single thing Brady could do that Mahomes can't. I think he has all the intangibles, all the tangibles, and a couple more tangibles than Tom had. I also think Tom is the GOAT because it's not just about, basically what your Madden rating would be. Or it also has to be about how long you did it for, what your accomplishments are. The reason I found this intriguing is I actually now believe if there are people who are already willing to say, no, he's the GOAT, I think that if they pull off the three-peat, it might be 50-50. I think if they pull off the three-peat, there might already be half of football America saying, no, he's the GOAT. He's not just the most talented, he's the GOAT. Because keep in mind if we just operate in the universe of if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl this year, what that will mean is this. Through 7 years of this guy's 8 years of his career, but 7 years playing, he was in the Final Four all 7 times for an organization that in the 50 years before he got there made the Final Four 1 time. He was in the Super Bowl 5 times for an organization that in the 50 years before he got there was in the Super Bowl 0 times. He won the Super Bowl 4 times in 7 years for an organization that obviously had won 0 in the previous 50. And he pulled off a three-peat in a league where no one had pulled off a back-to-back in 20 years. That's what he would have done. It would mean that through 7 years of the guy's career, his worst season ever was 12 wins, a conference championship loss in overtime. It would also mean that his playoff record gets run all the way up to 18-3, and he would be second all-time in postseason victories behind just Brady. And it would also mean that Mahomes has won Super Bowls with every style of team one could win with. And so if they win it this year, I do think, man, that people are some people will still go to Tom's 7, and not just Tom's 7, but they'll also go to the... Yes, correct. They'll go to that. But so that's the other part of it that I do wonder about in this regard. I think right after it happened, people looked at it like, man, old Brady beat prime Patrick. But what I wonder is if history will look at it more like Brady's prime was the year after he beat Patrick in the Super Bowl, he was second in MVP voting. So Brady's prime was still going, and prime Brady beat young Patrick. I wonder if the narrative will flip, because if Patrick all of a sudden wins 3 straight, and Brady beat him twice in his first 3 seasons as a starter, I think people will say, oh, well, Mahomes wasn't as good as he got to when Brady was playing.
Definitely say that.
Now,
I honestly kind of look at it like that right now.
And like he didn't yet know how to win, and Brady had all of this. Now, what is true, again, I don't know. I think it's probably a little bit of both, but it will be less of a kill shot. Because when Brady won that Super Bowl in Tampa, I was on TV before and after, and I said, man, the saddest part about this is it might mean that Patrick can't run him down. Because now the Super Bowls are 7-1. We don't know, if he's going to ever really have the chance to do it. But getting a phone call from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I wonder if that's Joe Biden. But the fact that since Tom beat Patrick, what Patrick's gone out and done, if he ends up is in the next 4 years pull off a three-peat without Tyreek Hill, and that's the last point real quick before you get to your follow-ups. The other thing is, in a weird way, Tyreek continuing to go and set these records and Mahomes winning Super Bowls, I think only adds to the legend. And so there's just there's a lot here that is at the doorstep for Patrick. And if through 7 years as a starter, and Brady obviously played forever and was unbelievable, but part of Brady's legend is 14 conference championship appearances, 10 Super Bowl appearances, incomprehensible 7 rings. If through 7 years, Mahomes has half the conference championship appearances, half the Super Bowls, and more than half the rings, well, you're starting to build quite the case. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.